Hello and welcome to
Movie Review TV. Movie Review TV.
I'm Aldwyn Altuney.
And I'm Michael Thompson.
And thank you for joining us. Today we're going to be cheersing and clinking, in fact, to the makers of a movie we absolutely love called A Street Cat.
Don't give too much away. They don't know what we actually think about it.
Well, they will very soon.
We give our reviews.
A Street Cat named Bob.
Cheers to the makers, you don't know nothing at the moment
of this. Cheers.
Cheers. We clink, but we don't drink.
No, not drinking at this point as much as we'd love to, because we need to focus. This is very important business here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this movie. Okay, as I said, it's called A Street Cat Named Bob, and it's about a homeless street busker who's struggling with addiction. His name is Luke Treadaway in the film. That's the actor. He finds an unlikely focus for his life when a persistently friendly orange tomcat appoints itself as his co-pilot. While caring for the cat, which he names Bob, and gaining strength from the cat's unconditional love, he is able to stop his destructive habits and get sober. This is based on a true story, and Bob the cat plays himself. Now, if you're wondering what Bob the cat looks like, he actually looks a lot like my cat, Tiger, and this is my Instagram right here, Aldwyn Altuney Media Queen Instagram.
How cute is that?
And that's my little tiger cat. Now, the cat in this movie is very much similar to Tiger. I'll come up a bit closer. There we go. Oh.
So that's one of the reasons why this movie appeals to you.
Yeah, I
obviously
really loved it because Bob is so similar to my tiger, and
I could tell that you love this movie when you said unconditional love.
Yes.
When you said the description of the movie, because I think that's maybe how you feel about Tiger as well.
I do. I have so much unconditional love for my cat. I adopted him when he was 1, and he's now about 6. So that's been a good 5-year journey with my beautiful cat Tiger.
Maybe you've had to put up with a bit. That's why the love is unconditional.
Oh, this is beautiful and very Garfield-looking cats. I think redhead cats are actually quite intelligent. Really, I think they're quite intelligent. As far as cat species goes, I think the redheads have really got a lot of character about them. A bit like redhead humans, really, always have a lot of character about them, don't they? The redhead. You might be.
If you say
a little
so.
bit redhead
no, I'm
there.
not. Completely different species.
And my hair's dyed, so that doesn't count. Although I was born with strawberry blonde. I had strawberry blonde hair as a kid, so there's probably a little bit of redhead in me somewhere there as well.
Me too. I had blonde hair, but we diverged into different colours in the end. So mine's changed to light brown. Yours is.
Yeah, well, mine's had a few different colours put in it now. So anyway, the movie, I absolutely loved it. And what was really interesting too, it was based on a guy who was in Melbourne, I believe. He was a Melbourne homeless drug addict who befriended this cat, or the cat befriended him actually. And just the beautiful journey of how the cat helped him recover. And, it was an interesting scene there when he was going through the methadone program, because apparently methadone is even more addictive than heroin, apparently, and the come down from that is very intense. So there was quite a bit of detail about what happens when you become a drug addict, and the guy that this movie is based on, obviously he came out okay, so he found his way through, but so many people don't. So many people do die of drug overdoses, and particularly now with ice being so prevalent, I think this movie was very powerful in many ways, showing the awful effects of drugs and how they can just send people downhill very quickly once they become addicted, and what it takes to actually get over the drugs. I thought it was a brilliant film. I love the cinematography. I love the scenery. I love the ways I could relate to parts of the film with like the street press that was being promoted and just different things like that. I just thought it was a brilliant, brilliant movie. What did you think, Michael?
And I really love the fact that it's based on a busker, because I'm basically an amateur musician myself.
Yes.
As you are,
yes, I have
with
a
your
ukulele
that you like getting out.
I have a go.
And playing. Is it Down by the Riverside?
Down by the
Riverside.
Is
your favourite song to
play
on the ukulele?
Hey Jude's another one.
Yes. And we're just having a bit of a play with that before.
We had a little play before.
Yeah. Yes, and then this guy's a really good busker, and you know, Bob comes along, you know, one day when he's busking, and they become the best of friends, so to speak.
Yes.
And Bob becomes his you know, lucky charm.
Yeah.
I guess you could say, like, his personal mascot.
Yeah.
Doesn't he? So he tends to attract you know, a lot of money, and people want to obviously give him a lot of donations while he's busking.
Yes.
So you know, basically him and Bob and the busker get along very well together.
They do. It's amazing how therapeutic animals can be for people. I think animals are just brilliant. And, you know, I'm personally very much a cat lover. You know, dogs are great too. They just need a lot more work than cats. So with my lifestyle, dogs would not work for me. However, cats I love, and I love snuggling up to my little putty cat, and he's just beautiful. However, when I got him, you know, when he was one, my little tiger cat, he was actually a little bit... He had a little bit of anxiety, I would say. He wasn't in the best state. And then after some nurturing, you know, now I can cuddle him like over my shoulder, and, you know, he sleeps with me sometimes, and he's just beautiful. So, you know, I get the connection here between the lead character and the cat.
And there was a touching relationship too between the main character and the girl, wasn't there? Throughout the film, that sort of developed.
Yeah, there was a lovely,
as it went along. There
was a lovely relationship story threaded in through this as well, and it also showed a bit of the dangers of what drugs can do to relationships as well, and how it can impact your relationships. And also the family story threaded in there was interesting as well. You know, the family, you know, the disjointed family that this guy came from. You know, I think a lot of that has to do with, you know, why people can end up on drugs, because they're looking for some kind of comfort, I think, that they're not getting at home, possibly.
And he did leave home. That's one of the reasons why he left, because of his drug problem.
And he was actually a great performer. However, with the cat, he drew a lot of attention. And
as I said, the cat was his lucky charm.
Yeah.
Basically in performing. So
yeah, and the fact that he took his cat out on the street, see, I think that's an unusual thing. You don't often see cats being taken out on the street like dogs are, you know, dogs on leashes or whatever. He just had his cat around his neck, which I thought was fantastic. And so that was a real wow factor with the fact that not just that he had a cat companion, but that he actually took his cat out busking with him, and the cat would just hang there. The cat would just stay with him. It was just such a beautiful bond, whereas normally cats would just run off, you know, anywhere without a lead. He didn't have a lead really for the cat. The cat just kind of stayed
on his shoulder
with him. Yeah, just
stayed
most of the time.
With him. So
we had like a little scarf for him, but you know, you didn't really see him taking the dog for a walk with a lead, taking the cat for a walk with a lead. The cat, you know.
And we really loved that. We loved this film, didn't we, Aldwyn?
We did.
And even though we saw it, you know, months ago, didn't we? Must have seen it 3 or 4 months ago. And it's still fresh in our memories.
Still very fresh.
Yeah, that's how memorable it is.
Yeah, I'd say it would be, you know, one of my favourite movies this year, if not my absolute favourite. And see, I love movies based on a true story too. So that's another thing. And animals, and of course, and the fact that the cat looks so much like my little cat, and the fact that I've had my own little battle with drugs over the years as well. And, you know, I'm through all that. I mean, nothing too heavy, but, you know, heavy enough. So I kind of understand, you know, I understand that side of it as well, you know, how you can feel when you're really depressed and you know, when you turn to drugs.
But there's always hope, and this movie gives you hope.
It does.
And you can turn your life around.
You can indeed.
Like this guy definitely did.
He did.
With the cat and the girl.
Yeah, and he went out afterwards and actually produced a book, and he did really well with his book as well. So look it up online, follow the real story of the guy that actually went through it. And it's just a really lovely, inspiring story. Lovely, positive news. That's what we like to see. More good news stories out there. This is definitely a good news story and a good news film. However, it does show also the lows. It had the lows and the highs of drug addiction, and showed, you know, what you can do to overcome it.
And it worked out well in the end.
It did. It worked out very well. So
it's good to be optimistic. So
yes. So I'm actually
cutting to the chase.
Out of 5 stars. I'm going to give this a 5 because I absolutely loved it. What do you give it?
Me too. I absolutely loved it. It's 4.5
4 and a
for me.
half.
So how's that?
Excellent. We actually differed slightly on this one. Fantastic. That's great,
Slightly?
Michael. And
Okay.
cheers to the makers of a street cat named
Cheers.
Bob. Cheers to you and to all the people in it too. I thought
And what's the motto?
the lead
The
actors were
movie
great.
review TV motto?
Moving you at the movies and moving you with movie review
And you'll be
TV.
moved by a street cat named Bob,
You definitely
as
will
we
be.
were.
You'll be moved possibly to tears and definitely
We'll have to check it out
to laughter.
again soon sometime, Aldwyn.
Yes, I would love to see it. It's the kind of film you could see again and again and you would just absolutely love it. And I think even if you're a dog person, as they say, dog people or cat people, I think even if you're a dog person, you would still love this movie.
Definitely.
Yes. So enjoy. And if you like what you've seen on this movie review TV episode, we'd love to see your comments. If you've seen the film, what did you think of the film? Pop them underneath this video here and share the video, share the love, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Aldwyn Altuney. You'll see all the movie review TV episodes in there. And we would love to connect with you and hear your feedback. Very soon, of course, stay tuned for even more exciting episodes of Movie Review TV. Bye for now.